Let's light some Palo Santo, shall we? Starting off with a bang, quite literally. How are we doing? As you're coming in, make sure to say hi. Tap the screen. Let us know where you're tuning in from. How are you feeling? How is this Sagittarius full moon treating you? I missed you all last week. Glad to be back. Hi, Julia. Welcome, everyone. Make sure you tap the screen as you come into this space. We're just getting started. So for those of you who are new here, my name is Harmony. Some of you may be watching the YouTube replay. I do repost these TikTok lives on YouTube. The link for that is in my bio if you're on TikTok. It's Ethereal Harmony 777. Make sure you subscribe over there. Hit that like button. You know the deal. So as you are coming into the space, as we are kind of setting the energy and intention of the space in here tonight, I do always ask that you set an intention. That you set an intention for yourself. What would you like to get out of this evening? Where would you like the energy to flow for you? Hi, Cappy Joe. This evening. What is your intention in being here in this space? We always want to be intentional with our decisions, right? Why we are choosing the things that we choose, where you choose to spend your time. Right now, that's here with me and everyone else. So what is the purpose of that for you today? What is your intent? Feel free to share it in the comments, or you can just hold it for yourself. Hi, la-di-da. I actually almost didn't come live tonight. It has been a heavy few days. This full moon has been a rough one for me. It's just been a bit of a rough time period in general. Going through another layer, another shed of ego death. Hi, Victoria. Hello, Alberto. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Indeed, Victoria. And you know, it's like, it's not like you get a warning of like, hey, big shit incoming. No. There's no warning. Yeah. Right. And the letting go is just like at such a deep level. It's like it always blows me away, you know, how deeply we're truly asked to surrender. It's like we feel that we understand surrender and letting go, and then there's another layer, another death, another depth to see. Hi, Star. Hello. Good to see you. I'm honored you're all here with me, with all of us, the collective here this evening. And as most of you know, oh my gosh, Victoria, it's wild. As those of you who are regulars here know, my intention before I come on these live streams is always just to be a vessel of the divine, to open this vessel up, to be a channel, to remove anything of me and my identities, and just to allow the divine to flow through. And so I'm here in service to you, in service to the collective. Ooh, and so I honor you in your part of this energy exchange. Thank you for receiving, and thank you for being here to contribute your energy as well, just by being in this space. Even if you're silently there tapping the screen, it still has an impact. Oh, thank you, 888. Ah, beautiful. I love it. Waves. Let's do the waves. And it's a full moon tonight. It doesn't always happen that, you know, our Tuesdays fall on a full moon. But here we are, Sagittarius full moon. Thank you for the falling, healing Heartwoods. Ah, la-di-da. It's funny because sometimes the letting go is even on a level of the things that we still believe are serving us, right? Sometimes it's the things that we believe are integral parts of us or aspects that are keeping us kind of tethered, right? It allows us to make sense of what we see in front of us. And sometimes these are the things that we even need to let go of, right? Surrender and then surrender again. And it's not just a surrendering of like, okay, like spirit, I surrender to you, but it's a surrendering of self. It's a surrendering of identity, a surrendering of thought forms and patterns and beliefs and conditioning and bullshit. It's a surrendering of who we were told we were meant to be. It's a surrendering of conforming to a society that was never built for your optimal joy or nourishment or love. Thank you for the follow, James Shelton. Thank you for the follow. Hi, welcome. Thank you, darling. There's so many thought forms in this world, and we are exposed to them constantly. If you're on social media, right, when you scroll, We watch the news, we watch TV shows, we watch movies. These are all thought forms that exist outside of ourselves. Ooh, Ian, felt. It really has been. I feel like there's been this cosmic shift that's been underway, and it's like this deep uprooting of like really deeply ingrained just bullshit beliefs that have been so deeply ingrained in us. And oh my God, the fact that you said gnarly, I literally said that exact. I used that word too, which is not a word I ever use, to my soul sister earlier today. I told her I was going through a gnarly, I was having a gnarly shed of a layer. And it really has been. What they're showing me is like this huge mountain, and it's like having to dig up beneath the mountain to move the mountain over an inch. And it's like, this is the process we've been in. The amount of excavating that's needed to be done in order to just shift us one little inch. Right? So much internal work, so much shadow work, so much work beneath the surface. I'm so glad, Ian. And from there, the external shift, and sometimes the external shift looks so tiny. Sometimes, not always. But sometimes all we see is that teeny tiny little inch that the mountain moved over, instead of understanding that you are moving a fucking mountain, right? Like, it's not like you're kicking a pebble. Funny how even the things that we've been conditioned and taught as, good or right, or the things that you're supposed to do or supposed to be, all the things that seem so light that we've learned are light and good, that even those are often aspects of ego that need to be shed and surrendered. If we were done, we wouldn't be here. If we were done, we wouldn't be here having this experience right here, right now. Thank you for the follow, Olenka. We wouldn't all collectively be here, incarnated at the same time, having this conversation. If we were done with our work, right? Focus on Better 365. Thank you for the follow. Right, you would have already ascended to a different incarnation. You wouldn't be here having this experience right now. We wouldn't be having this conversation. You'd be on the next part of your journey. The second we think that we're done or we're enlightened or we're just already there, if you were, you wouldn't be here. I still love how you do those little hand emojis with the sparkle in the middle of them. Thank you for sharing the live, Courtney Rose. So good to see you, darling. Also, just so you all know, I may not be live the next 2 weeks. I'm going on a road trip with my kids and my best friend of 20 years and her kid. We're going to Sedona and then California. We're always awakening. Hi, Star. Always awakening. There's always another layer to awaken into. I might still go live next week, potentially, because I think we're not leaving until Wednesday or Thursday. It just depends when she's getting in town. So if she's not in town yet, then I might go live next Tuesday, but definitely not the week after. Yes, I'll be in Sedona for a few days. I feel that part of everything I've been going through over the past month and a half, really almost 2 months, has maybe been preparing me for whatever will be beginning after this trip. Feels like a landmark of sorts in the timeline. Ushayene. Victoria. Oh, that's amazing. James, send me a message. There's some really big energies moving through. Yeah, even everything that was coming up yesterday and today for me, I was like, I know it's not all just mine. And then I was messaging Nikki, my soul sister, and she was like, this is not just yours. Like, you're transmuting a lot of things for a lot of people, right? And so it's like these thought forms, the thought forms that we're exposed to. I really feel like this is big in terms of the collective unconscious, right? And the consciousness of the collective. Hi, Pina. Right? And it's like there's such depth moving through. It's like I see it like these channels of energy just like moving through the depths of so many people. And it's like we're able to touch so many more people and so many more lives now. But it's almost like the density of some of those thought forms is denser than ever. And so it's not our job to try to fight through those necessarily, but to merely choose to exist and not conform to them, to not go into them. And I don't even want to say to rise above them, because it's not necessarily about being above or below, because as above, so below. Victoria, beautiful. Yeah, this full moon has been calling. I've been feeling so exhausted. It's wild. So exhausted. And so it's like we're just moving through these really thick thought forms right now, and it's like there's this huge collective awakening going on at the moment. And so for those of us who have already been in this work, it's coming through, right? And the reason it's able to be activated in you is because that thought form still does exist in you to whatever degree. And so that's a gift, right? You're able to help transmute it for not only yourself, but for others as well. That doesn't make the process any better. But just remember that you get to assign the meaning. Like in all of these things, it's okay to go into them. It's okay to go into the energy and into the experience of these things so that we can transmute them. But it's important that we also come out of it, that we also pop back up into that observer role, right? Into that observer space, so we're not so overly identified with the experience of it. So we're not so overly identified with the thought forms, with the sensation in the body, with the meanings that we've assigned that are coming through, that we're able to move through them and not hold on to them, not cling on so tight, not let it just like completely take us down. You know, we have to be able to find that separation. Granted, separation in a sense is an illusion. But seeing that we are not those thoughts, we are not those patterns. They're merely an aspect of a thought form. Yeah, Ian. Absolutely. It's all valuable, right? Beautiful soul flowers, Steph. Thank you, Nesuno. And it's interesting, you know, I used to be really big into like always protecting my energy and making sure that I wasn't, you know, taking on others' energy and things. And it's interesting that I've kind of shifted in that way into a sense of like, at the end of the day, we're all one, right? We're all of the same source. And if I truly believe in oneness, then in a sense, there's value in all things. And just understanding where I choose to operate from, where I choose to vibrate. And then at the same time knowing that if a particular energy is affecting me, then it's because there's something that's still alive in me that's being asked to be seen. Right? Because I'm sure you guys have experienced that with certain people or relationships. Hi, Link, long time no see. Where, you know, maybe they trigger you a ton, right? Maybe they're like super activating. And when you talk to this person, you know, maybe they just like get you really upset or bring up a part of you that you really struggle with. And I'm sure you've experienced this when you do deep healing, that sometimes in time they start to affect you less, or they affect you differently. It's not the way that it once was, right? I think a lot of us have probably experienced this with ex-partners, right? Where there's a time where the things that they said like were crushing and it felt huge and it felt so triggering and all these things. And then you heal and you transmute and suddenly you're like, okay, you can say whatever to me. It doesn't affect me anymore, right? And that is healing. Now, what if we had run from those interactions? What if we had run from the discomfort that came up in those interactions? Then we just would have had to face it somewhere else, right? The energy, that pattern still needed to be transmuted within you. Whatever it was activating within you is what needed to be transmuted, which is why it would have come up somewhere else otherwise, right? And so know that if something is affecting you, it's not so much about the person, the place, or the thing. It just means that there's still an energy, a thought form, a pattern, something within you that is asking to be seen and felt and heard and transmuted and loved, really. Right? A rejected aspect within yourself that's asking to be loved more deeply, seen more fully. And accepted for the divinity within it. That's the lesson in unconditional love. The lesson in unconditional love isn't about self-sacrifice and loving people to your own detriment. It's about learning to see the divinity in the parts of you that you struggle with. The divinity in the sludge. Seeing that there is divinity in the part of you that enjoys chaos and enjoys pain and enjoys suffering just as much as there is divinity in the part of you that enjoys love and light and beauty and wholeness. And there is value and divinity in both. And as long as we reject one aspect or another, we're making ourselves wrong. And that's not unconditional love. That's conditional. It's, I love you as long as you are being this way. I love you as long as you're not scrolling on TikTok for 10 hours a day. I don't know, like whatever that is, right? Whatever those aspects of yourself that you struggle with, whatever those patterns are, whatever you've been taught is okay or not okay. And the shame and guilt that comes along with that. This is tourmaline. Yeah, it's quartz with tourmaline. I do have a rainbow moonstone right here. Right here. Very similar. Which is actually very fitting for this evening because full moon. I'm also wearing black and white. I guess that's the theme for the evening. Yin and yang, right? And even though they seem separate, they're one. Remembering that there is light in the dark and dark in the light. One does not exist without the other, and therefore they are both divine. Yes, sparkle modality. It's okay to feel lost. Thank you, Ian. We must be lost to be found. I'm in the Dallas, Texas area. Thank you for the follow, Brandy. Sometimes it feels really hard and really heavy to get over ourselves, right? To get over our false identities. It's okay to be on the floor in the fetal position. It's okay to feel lost and like you're losing yourself and you don't know what you're doing or who you are. That's a part of the divine process. Thank you for the follow. Easy. Thank you for the follow, baby. A reminder that full moons are about illumination, illuminating the shadow. So allow whatever is being illuminated to be. Don't assign any meaning to it. Just observe, witness. Collectively, we say thank you. Thank you for illuminating the shadows. so that we may see the light. Thank you for shining a light on the truth that was unseen. Even when it's hard to look at. We thank you, Divine Creator, for this moment in time where we can share in this space together and collectively transmute the shadows that have been plaguing us for lifetimes. Thank you for the follow, John. This right here is your mission. And you know, it's so funny in this world, and this is what I've been really caught up in recently, you guys. It's like all of the thought forms around jobs and career and purpose and making money and all of these things. And really, when we just strip it all away, the times that I feel the most aligned and like I'm here and doing what I'm meant to do, more often than not is even just when I'm meditating. When I come out of meditation. When I do this work. When I do energy work. And maybe it is that simple. Maybe the rest of it we're assigning all kinds of meaning to, and maybe it doesn't really mean anything at all. Maybe it was never about your worth or how good you are or how viral you go on social media or how much money you make. Maybe it was just about shifting and transmuting thought forms, one person at a time. Maybe each and every one of you who is doing that work for yourselves is fulfilling your purpose. And that somehow seems wrong, doesn't it, in the scope of society and social media, where we see people, doing all kinds of stuff that maybe we think is really cool, and we're like, oh, I want to live like that. I want to do that. Or sometimes it's, I tried that, but it didn't work for me. Whatever the belief is, whatever the thought form is, maybe it's just as simple as being brave enough to choose to live in authenticity. Rachel. I understand. I remember years ago I had this moment where I had done a cleanse and I felt really good and I'd lost weight and I was like, man, I feel so good. And then it was like a week or two later that I felt like it wasn't good enough, and suddenly I was like picking myself apart again, and I was like, oh, I'm never gonna look the way that I want to. Like it clicked in my head. I was like, oh no, I want my body to look like this person's body, and that's not my body. I have this body. And I just realized in that moment that I had to find acceptance. Because before we can find love, we first have to find acceptance. And it still comes up for me sometimes, but this was years ago that I had that moment. Probably back in 2013, 2014. Thank you, Cassie. In those moments of acceptance, accepting what is, it leads the way and makes space for love and gratitude to flow through. But we can't have gratitude until we accept what is. As long as we're fighting the truth and reality of what we see in front of us, we're always going to feel unhappy, really. Acceptance is really the key, especially when things don't look the way that we want. Right? Like, sometimes we're so attached to the way that we want things to look, and the way that we want things to be. And again, especially with things like social media and all these images that we're exposed to and people that look a certain way, and then we see how other people respond to them, and you're like, oh my God, I want that. Hi, Lisa B. Happy you're here, Bucko. There's a whole multitude of reasons, right? But what if it's just okay to be in the body that you're in right here and right now? What if it's okay to accept yourself as you are? To break free from the matrix and how we've been conditioned and told we have to look or have to be, or what makes us worthy of being loved. It's all just such bullshit. For body image issues and things like that, I love doing mirror work, and it can be really, really hard and really confronting. It can be really hard and really confronting, just like staring at yourself in the mirror, allowing yourself to cry. Right? And just letting it be. Forming that relationship with yourself that's not based on what anyone else thinks or says about you, but just with you, for you. The thing that I've realized that's interesting is like, well, let it be awkward, Bucko. Let it be awkward and do it anyway. I get it though. I like to use Ho'oponopono in the mirror. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Right? Just saying that to myself. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. It's interesting for me because I got to this space where I learned to fall in love with myself so deeply as a single woman, as a single mom, and to love my body and to be in this confident space. I love that you mentioned childhood pictures. I have literally 3 pictures of myself as a little girl sitting right here on my desk. But yeah, and then I got into a relationship back in March, which I'm still in now. But it's been very interesting for me seeing how some of those old body image issues and things like that are coming up. It's like I learned how to love myself in in one context, and then it's like learning to now weave that into a different context is very interesting, right? You would think like being in a relationship with someone who's like so wonderful and so kind and like just thinks the world of me, right? You'd think that would be really great, but it's like it almost brings up more insecurity in a way, and I'm like, oh, I haven't felt like this in a while. So it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting for me to witness that. And because I already know how to give it to myself. And then it's like I started receiving that from this other beautiful being. And then it's like learning how to do both together. It's just a very interesting process. Oh, Rachel. Know that no matter what it looks like, it's still not backwards. Because you're not who you were, regardless of how much you weigh or your size. The you here today is able to be you because of who you were before. You've grown into this person. And get rid of your scale. They're not helpful, in my opinion. Your body and who you are is valuable at any and every size. Typically, when we're holding on to weight, it's us holding on to protection. It's self-preservation. Hi, Kate. I'm so glad, baby. You're valuable at every size. You really are. Again, it's societal conditioning. It's societal conditioning. Outside of wanting to feel good and have energy, right? The rest of it, society. It doesn't make it any easier, though, I know. But you'll get further from self-acceptance than you will from the self-hatred and the shame. So when you make the lifestyle changes, when you make the changes to how you eat and how you dress and how you walk, your activity, let all of that come from a space of acceptance and love, not from a societal pressure that tells you that you somehow need to fix yourself because you're broken and wrong for being exactly as you are. Because it's just not the truth. But there is space to let in more love. And ask yourself, is it loving, right? When you're making certain decisions, whether it's decisions around food or activity or whatever that is, what is the most loving thing that I can do for myself here? Thank you, love. What is the most loving decision for you? Not for someone else. For you. Is it loving to you to eat in a way that doesn't make you feel good? Is it loving to you to punish yourself? When we can come back to this with all of the choices that we make in life, right? What is the most loving choice? What would love do? And sometimes the answer to that is tough. I remember, 2 Decembers ago now, I was connected with this beautiful soul, and he was just having a really hard time. And when I asked what would love do, it was to let him go. And so I did. And it was really hard and really painful, but also deeply aligning. And it felt like such a beautiful gift to give both myself and the other person, to love them and to love me so deeply, to let them go. It was the most loving thing to do. It was the most loving decision. And that's not always the answer, right? Sometimes the most loving thing to do is just to be really honest with ourselves, or really honest with someone, to have a tough conversation. But what would love do? Your heart knows. I'll take that dog barking as confirmation. Oh. Did you guys hear that? Can you hear that? There was like a... Thank you, doggies. Thank you. Those are random dogs in the hall. I live in an apartment complex. Sparkle modality. Yes, James, absolutely. I love that. Right? Yeah, and it's interesting though, because that experience that I had with that individual, and he and I had multiple experiences together that were like deeply divine, but it's crazy how making those decisions, when they're like truly for your highest alignment, the way that your body will just light up in knowing and in alignment. Versus the heaviness of going with the status quo, or the heaviness of going with someone to keep, or something to keep someone else comfortable. That may not be, your deepest, most authentic truth. You've got this. Come back now for a moment to your intention that you set at the beginning of the evening. And if you haven't set an intention yet, that is okay. Take a moment now to connect in with yourself and to find that intention. Thank you for the follow. Beautiful. Hold that intention. Place your palm up. Feel that intention sitting in your hand. Maybe your intention was to let go. Maybe it was to love more. Maybe it was to find your wholeness within. Whatever that intention was. There's no right or wrong intention here. But just connect with it for a moment and feel it sitting in the palm of your hand. Now slowly take your other hand right on top of it, like you're holding it in a sacred little cocoon. Feel the energy of that intention between your hands getting warmer and brighter as you feed energy into it. Let it be fun. Let it feel really good. Just continuing to dance with this energy between your fingers. Feeling it grow in power and strength. Take a moment. Find thanks for this intention that came to you this evening. This thought form that came to you this evening. For the energy and the experience of it. And slowly take a big inhale. Hold it. And as you exhale, you can either choose to let that intention go and then bring your hands into your heart, or just bring your hands right into your heart. Taking a moment to just feed your heart here. Getting deep down into those unconditional layers that live within you here. The wholeness, the oneness that lives in your heart space. Your creative center. The part of you that truly feels unconditional and open and willing and giving and abundant. The part of you that does not live in fear and doubt. The part of you that does not conform based on what others desire. The part of you that is here to live in ultimate freedom. Freedom of choice, freedom of self. Expanding your heart center a little bit more. Breathe deeply into your heart. Feel your heart opening and expanding, and for some of you it might not be opening or expanding yet, and that is okay. The heart can feel very vulnerable to access, to open. To live from the heart is to be willing to love, to be willing to feel pain and sorrow, but also the depths of joy and gratitude. Feel your heart opening even more and feel that energy radiate through your entire body and outside of this physical human vessel and out into your auric field, into that energetic field that lives around you. Your heart is the magnet, drawing in the experiences to you. So just sit here with this energy and allow it to flow. Where your attention goes, energy flows. So bring all of your attention to your heart right now. Whatever sensation may be there, feel the beauty that lives in this space, your capacity to love that is so deep and so divine. And I'll ask you from this space, what would love do to that question in your heart? And for some of you, that may have made your heart go whoop and shut, and that's okay. That's okay. Breathe into it again. Just soften into whatever truth lives there. Not the fear, the love. So breathe and soften again. Allow yourself to feel safe for your heart to open again. What do you need to transmute in order to make this possible? What are you being asked to move through or to step into? You're each so brave. And I want to commend you for those of you out there making tough decisions and living this life authentically. Working towards a deeper authenticity. My name is not a beverage. What is your name then? Soulflower Steph. Love and light to you as well, darling. Thank you for your kind words. For sharing your energy. Taya, not T. Got it. I love that. Welcome, Taya. Reminder that you are full and whole. Just being yourself, just sitting in meditation with nothing else. You're full and whole because you exist. Not because of any career or any status. The emojis for the evening is the wave. It's interesting because that wave emoji makes me think of that Japanese. It's interesting because that wave emoji makes me think of that Japanese painting. The Japanese painting with the wave that looks just like that. There's this creator that I follow who has that tattooed on his hand, the wave. And I think it says like presence beneath it or something. Me too, Vivi. Me too. Is it Trey? TR3? Trey? Is that it? Welcome. We are all in full despair. No, but we've been talking about how it's been a deeply dense and heavy time for many of us. Just moving through deep patterns as we go further and deeper into this awakening process that never ends. Beautiful. Does anyone have a headache on the left side of their head? From like here over to the temple area? It does make sense, actually. Lily, hi, so good to see you. Okay, beautiful. Make sure you hydrate, beautiful souls. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Especially if you have some kind of like liquid IV or coconut water or Prime or Gatorade or something with some minerals. It's very important that we replenish. I know it seems like we maybe aren't doing all that much with the energy, but it's a lot. And your system will thank you. Especially if you find yourself feeling tired or drained or kind of just off. You can get your feet on Mama Gaia. Thank you, Danu. Reishi mushroom tea, amazing. Hello, Nico. Speaking of mushrooms, I'm hoping to host ceremony space, so live in-person ceremony journey space. Hopefully in September. So if any of you are interested in that, shoot me a message, because I want to make sure that it works for those of you who have been wanting to attend. Personally, I've had just very expansive experiences in journey space. It does need to be facilitated correctly, and I love facilitating journey space. It's so transformational. It's such an honor. My birthday's in September, and so it's almost like a birthday gift to myself to host journey space, because I just love it so much. It's one of my favorite ways to do healing work. And I do Reiki as I drop you into the medicine. We do breath work as well. Oh my gosh, that's amazing, Sparkle Modality. Thank you for the follow, Just Nicole. $9.19. I love that. Thank you, Lily. The first time I dropped into the medicine, Spirit was like, you know, you're supposed to facilitate these spaces. I was like, okay. When will I be live until? If I switch to plug in my phone, I might have to switch from the mic to my charger. Then I'll be on a bit longer, probably until like 11:30. But if I don't switch, then my phone is going to die soon. And that will be it. Yeah, but one of the things that I find to be the utmost important is the safety aspect. So in this particular case, when I facilitate journey space, I do make the medicine myself. So it's a combination of ayahuasca as well as a few other things. So if you're interested in attending, we can talk more about the specifics. But yeah, it's creating a safe space is what's most important, right? Because again, I know the first time I dropped into the medicine is just like, it feels scary. Because you're like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And so, making sure that you're in safe hands. Nothing compares to that. And I always feel that these things find us when they're meant to, right? And it's like, if you're meant to attend, it just works out. Lily, so I started going I started going live at 9 again, 9 p.m. Central, because it seemed like more people were available. So I came on at 9 tonight. Whew. It's different for everyone. It's different for everyone. For me, I was already in this work. Hi, Marley. Good to see you. Thank you, love. So it really depends where you are when you go. Because, sometimes you're taken into really deep work. Thank you for the follow, Rafa. Other times it's like kind of like really fun and joy and blissful, and you're just experiencing past lives. And there's so much. There's so many. There's no like rules or parameters for what it's going to be or what it has to be, right? But if you're someone who does a lot of shadow work outside of the medicine, I find that the medicine doesn't necessarily take you into like the deepest, most challenging shadow work, but right, like psilocybin and these fungi are very intelligent. They're very intelligent, and so it's especially when sourced correctly. It's a beautiful experience. And the way you feel after the fact, there's just this sense of calm and peace. Just like, it's just that feeling that you've touched the divine, made contact with the divine in a new experience of it, in a new way, in a different way. Because you are the medicine, right? We are the medicine. You don't need the medicine to go to these depths. However, it's a beautiful, beautiful, intelligent tool that we can use here. And I think it's important to just know if it's calling to you or not, if these experiences are calling to you or not. I had so much hesitation before I ever did, and I was kind of like, I don't need it. I can already connect with all the stuff outside of it, but it was a whole new experience. So, and I've had some experiences that have been more challenging. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. Well, Lily, the fact that you hopped on right as I was talking about it, and I could have talked about it any other time, it might be calling to whatever degree. And again, yeah, I was scared. I remember the first time The first time I dropped in, I like swallowed and I was just like, I felt this terror go from like the top of my head all the way to my toes. Just like terror. There was no reason to be so terrified. It's all just, it's surrender. It's learning to surrender to wherever the medicine desires to take you, wherever the divine desires to take you, what the divine desires to show you. There was no reason to be so terrified. I just was terrified. I was like, I already faced myself so deeply. How could I possibly? Like, that's what I was scared of. I was like, I know how intensely I feel things and I experience things and I go into my work and I do all of this stuff. I was like, taking that up a notch sounds impossible and crazy and scary. And that's not what it was. I was sitting there like laughing. I was like, oh. I was just laughing. I was like crying because I was laughing so hard. Yeah. And they were like, you're good. You're meant to facilitate the space. This isn't your journey. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So you just never know. But again, I've had challenging ones too. It's all about learning not to resist. Not to resist what's being shown to you, where you're being taken, the experience. It's a practice of surrender. Sometimes I feel like being sick is a beautiful practice of surrender as well. Did the music stop? It's back. Okay, I need to plug in my phone. I'll wait a little bit longer. I'm at 13%. And then we'll take a little break. I'll plug in my phone. You guys can grab some water. I need to grab some water as well. Be mindful of the meaning that you assign to things. Be mindful of the meaning that you assign to things. Remember that you've been conditioned to assign meaning to everything. Start to question those meanings. Start to question your automatic thoughts about things, your perceptions, your impressions. Be mindful of the meanings that you assign to things. Because all of those thought forms, all of those beliefs that are not serving you, at the root of them is a meaning that you assigned somewhere along the way. And then you continued to collect evidence and assign meaning to those things. That's just the craziest thing to me. Hello, Keith D115, D115. Spirit has a sense of humor. It's your birthday? I love that. So you're a Scorpio? I know someone born on November 3rd and November 4th. My niece and my sister-in-law. January 15th. So Capricorn. Okay, I'm gonna grab my charger. Go get yourself some water. I think I'm gonna grab water too. But it's a good time to take a moment to drink some water. You can keep tapping, of course, if you'd like. My charger's right there. I just need to switch because my phone's gonna die. Pull down my shorts first. Okay, let's see if this reaches. Reach. Ooh. I might have to bring you guys a little bit closer to me. Sorry. Oops. Okay. Really, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He's the best. He's the best. It's kind of interesting. Like, maybe some of you have experienced this. When you get into a healthy relationship and it makes you realize you've never fully been in a healthy relationship before. Yeah? Have you ever experienced that before? Yeah. Where you're like, oh. Right? Like, oh, people can respond like this? Huh, I thought I was crazy. I thought I was asking for too much. No, you were just asking the wrong person. Seriously. It's wild. It's wild. It's so different than I anticipated. I don't know, it's different than I anticipated. Hi, Kayla. In a good way. It's just like oh my God, just like the safest, most beautiful thing I've ever been. Like, it's wild. Yeah, I try not on Instagram is obviously where I post about it sometimes, but I try not to go too far into it because I feel like it's like too much. I feel like it's too much. He does not. No. He does have a beautiful spiritual practice for himself. He has a meditation practice. This is his mala. He gave this to me when we first started dating. Yeah, this is his mala. Nick knock. Absolutely. Yeah, Lily, so he doesn't, in a sense, we all do healing work, right? He's doing the Lord's work with me, that's for sure. But no. as a profession. He doesn't. But I swear, just the person that he is like so healing. His energy. Absolutely. Yeah, my mala, the last mala I had, broke. Look at this, you guys. This card was sticking out from my deck. And of course I pull it out as I have my hand up like this. Absolutely. For those of you who are newer, I do repost these on YouTube. It's Ethereal Harmony 777. The High Priestess. So the High Priestess is all about intuitive knowing. But for me, the High Priestess is kind of a confirmation. So one thing that's really interesting is that in this life, our patterning, our conditioning can make us confuse trauma and fear with love. No, it's a Pisces card, actually. Pisces, it's a Piscean card. And the major arcana, the Justice card, is Libra. My man's is a Libra. He's a Libra. Yeah, and so the thing is, sometimes we may feel a sensation come up in our body, right? Say it's like a constriction in the heart space or whatever that may be. And we associate that with something, right? So maybe when we think of a certain person or we talk about a certain person, we feel a constriction in our heart and we're like, oh, that means this. I am a Virgo. How did you know? But really, I like to associate more with my Vedic astrology instead of Western. And in Vedic, you really go by the moon and rising. Ooh, thank you for the follow, Nick. Yes, Lily, that's a beautiful way to do. Thank you, Danny. Yes. Marley, going back to cycles of dysfunction because it's comfortable, right? And so we have to observe too, because sometimes when that sensation comes up, it's not because whatever that is for our highest good. Sometimes it's just our body trying to take us back to the familiar, right? And a lot of times it's not necessarily that something feels right, it's that it feels familiar. Because it's familiar trauma, it's the known. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy how our body, right, our evolutionary survival instinct is to stay in the safety and the comfort of the known, even if it's chaotic, even if it's damaging, even if it's painful. And so sometimes that abusive relationship feels more right than the non-abusive one. And it's not that it's more right than one that is clearly not good for you. It's that it's more familiar. And that's why we have to retrain ourselves, create new neural pathways. Hello, Trey. I fell into that a lot before, thinking that familiar meant that it was like alignment. Absolutely, baby. Not understanding that my brain and body was chasing familiar. And the thing that's interesting though is that oh yeah, it's a lifetime worth of work, right? The interesting thing, as it pertains to relationships and all these different types of things, is everything can look perfect on paper. But then when we look at the energy of it, right, it's well, what is the energy that we bring out in each other? What are the patterns in our auric fields that are calling us into each other's experience? What are we meant to be showing each other? It's all such a process. And we have choice here in this realm. Oh gosh, yeah, baby. I think somatic is really almost more, because we have to retrain the body. To retrain the body to a new mind, right? But the body is the one that has to be trained. It's the body that can be so challenging to overcome. Feel a sensation and automatically we associate it with something. Right? We feel tightness in our chest and we think it's anxiety. Maybe it's not. Yeah, it's lifelong work. It's lifelong work. Change is inevitable. Magic happens in the unknown. But we have to lose who we were in order to become something new, in order to have something new, something different. And we get to grieve who we once were. Grieve the aspects of ourselves that must die. Oh my gosh, Lily, I love that. I love that. Magic happens in the unknown. I always say that. Yeah. Our brokenness is a piece of our wholeness, right? Part of who we be, even if it is an illusion. May you feel strength in your moments of weakness and acknowledge your weakness in your moments of strength. May you find divinity in the darkness. And darkness in the divine. May you allow these old falsehoods to fall away so that you can step into who you were meant to become. And that's not a destination or specific identity or person or place or thing. It's just a way of being, a way of living and trusting and loving. Allowing it to be whatever it may be, whatever you've been wrestling with or struggling with, just lay it down here and now, and just be fully present here in this moment. And know that right here, right now, you are safe. Whatever sensation is coming up in your body, it's safe. It's just a sensation. It's just an experience. And it is safe to feel an experience. You don't have to assign a meaning to it. Just let it be. Was it frozen or was I just still? I love that. Thank you for taking this time for yourself. Oh. Hi, Kai. You're welcome. Thank you for being here and contributing your energy in the way that you have. Thank you for sharing the light, Kai. Beware of the ways that you've learned to measure success. Love you, Sparkle Modality. They're having me go into your lower abdomen. Beneath the belly button. So glad you're here, Kate. Thank you for the rose, Cece. Thank you for the follow, AS. Thank you for the follow, Leah. Yes, full moon in Sagittarius. Bringing me back to the question of what would love do for some of you. Just come back to that question for yourself. This moon's been intense. Not for everyone. For me, yes, very resete. Again, I'm in that lower abdomen area. Some of you, it feels like you need help with digesting your food. Thank you, Jeremy. Coming into the womb space. I want to just invite you to feel this for yourself. Thank you for the follow, Star Dreaming. Feel the moon's energy, the full moon. You can close your eyes and see it in your mind's eye if you'd like. You can just feel into it. If you're outside, you can obviously look at the moon. That's the easiest way to connect to her energy. The energy of the moon goddess. Just invite that energy now into your lower abdomen, into your womb space. Feel your womb space fill up with this light, with this illumination. You can bring a hand or two onto your lower stomach, below the belly button. Just invite this energy in. You can say within yourself or out loud, I am open to the illumination of divine truth through divine love. Show me the way. Feel the path illuminate in front of you. Feel the fullness, the wholeness of that moon, of the energy in your womb space. Good job. You did good work tonight. Perfect. You did good work tonight. I'm proud of you. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for being here and sharing this space. You're welcome, Sarah. Thank you, Kayla. You're so welcome. Thank you for the follow, DLCJ. I love you, Marley. You're welcome. Thank you. Lily, Kate. Thank you guys. I love you. So, you're so welcome, baby. I already told most of you here who caught it, but I may not be live the next 2 weeks because I'm going on a road trip. I might still go live next week if I can swing it, but the week after I definitely won't be live. But just pencil in that I will not be live the next 2 weeks, but we'll be back to our regular, and I switched our time back to 9 p.m. It seemed like that was a better time for more people. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you. I love connecting with you guys, though. I really do miss you on the weeks I don't come on here. It's nourishing for me, too. This is a big piece of my purpose here and how I'm meant to serve. So, yeah. But I'll be back, 9 p.m. Central. I'll be in Sedona as well, so yeah. You're so very welcome, Jamie. Thank you for being here. Lily, you're like being thrown to the wolves. You got it. You got it. I love you too. Sedona's amazing. The energy there. I bought this this moldavite and this Herkimer diamond, which I wear them both. I try to wear them both together most days. But I bought both of these in Sedona on my first trip there. Oh my gosh, Sedona is just incredible. The first time I went there, I did a solo road trip at the end of 2022 for New Year's Eve and then going into New Year's Day. So I woke up and started the new year in Sedona in 2023. That was a wild year. Yeah, but it's such a magical place. It's otherworldly. We're gonna be there for days. And then we're driving to California, to San Diego. Oh yeah, I went solo hiking in Sedona, and it was snowing and raining, and the ground on the mountain I was on, it was like peanut butter, because it's like the red rocks, so the color of it is like that reddish, and mixed with the snow and the rain, it was like walking on peanut butter, not on all of it, but on parts. And there was this one point where, oh my God, it was such an incredible experience. Oh, Zion, that's amazing. Where I was like, Mama Gaia, like, show me your ways, show me how to surrender to the seasons, show me how to surrender to the cycles, show me. Like, I remember just having this surrendering moment with Mama Gaia of asking her to show me. And it was like I was walking and I started going, I did not know what I was doing. I started going down a random trail, a random path that was not a real path. It like wasn't a real trail. So it led me to a little dead end. Anyway, but I swear I said that to Mama Gaia and it started pouring, like pouring rain. And I was like, okay, thank you, Mama Gaia. I see you. And it was literally just like it's so hard to describe what that moment was like. And there was this huge creek in front of me, and I realized that the trail I needed to be on didn't go off that random way, but I had to walk through the water to continue on that trail. And so the song I was singing, it's funny, Lily, that you said that you started hearing a song, because the song that I was singing, like audibly, I have videos where I was like, taking videos of like where I was walking and stuff. The song I was singing was a Maggie Rogers song called Falling Water. Because it goes, I was walking through icy streams that took my breath away. Anyway, yeah, and I was literally walking through icy streams because it was also snowing. Like, it snowed too. It wasn't just raining because it was January 1st, so it was cold. I was wearing a Carhartt beanie and a Patagonia, and I was wearing a like jean jacket on top. And so what was really cool though was like when I got back in the car, I took off the jean jacket. My leggings were wet, and definitely my shoes and socks were wet, but like underneath the jean jacket was dry. And then when I took my Carhartt beanie off, like my hair underneath was all dry because I put all my hair up under the beanie anyway. And I was like, oh, all right. I took pictures after that hike, and like I still remember all of that very distinctly. And I felt really wild. Yeah, I felt really wild. And I released my my wedding ring also in that mountain in Sedona in a random river. That was, 2022 was when early in 2022 is when I like officially ended my marriage and moved out onto my own and started that whole part of my journey. So this was 22 going into 23. So very powerful time for me. And then so I released that ring, and then I bought this moldavite and the Herkimer diamond. So I don't know what that means. But yeah, it's quite quite a time. Highly recommend Sedona. Highly recommend doing solo road trips. And just doing it. Like, I had no plan. I literally just did it. And it was so transformational. And I felt like I honored my inner child so beautifully on that trip. Like, I just did whatever I wanted. I just like pulled over on the side of the road and like literally put my body out of my car, and it was like pitch black on this road. Like, there were no cars, no nothing. Just pulled over on the side of the road. I remember like howling at the moon and like pulling over in different parts and just like looking up at the stars, because I mean, the sky when you're in places like Arizona and like Sedona, like that, it's just like the amount of stars that you can see is so cool. And I mean, there's like so many coyotes and just like crazy animals and stuff out there, you know? And so everything just feels like a little bit scary to say the least. But just like, it's so worth it. And I would just like climb random rocks and like I just did whatever I wanted. Do you know what I mean? It was such a liberating experience. I think especially for me, I was so used to being married where like in my marriage, like that was not what my life was. I felt like I always had to be someone. I had to, yeah. Oh my gosh, we are stuck inside too much. I love nature and I love going outside. I love hiking and camping and so life affirming. Mama Gaia is such a gift. Yeah. And it's interesting. Oh, it's 11:11 here. It's interesting how Kayla, I try to most weekends as well. It's interesting how we also, it's almost like we choose controlling partners as a projection to help us break free from control. I love that. Right? It's like a pattern for us to break out of, to choose our own authenticity instead of the comfort of another person. And so it's a big pattern. That would be amazing, baby. We have to choose to take the shackles off of ourselves, you know? It's like we're sitting there handcuffed, not realizing we can just reach down and take them off now. Same, Kayla. Yep. Same. The patterns are just so deeply ingrained, you know? Those patterns of control. And then the ways that we seek control in our own lives, right? Because we like learned that was the only way to be safe. Yeah. The control that we have is over ourselves, right? We control the decisions that we make. And even then, how much of it is up to the divine? All right, beautiful beings. I love you all dearly. Maybe see you next week. Probably not, definitely not the week after, but I'll be back for sure at the beginning of July. I love you all. I hope you have the most beautiful evening. And yeah, I just thank you. I honor you for being here, for showing up for yourself this evening. It's a blessing to have you here, baby. I love you all. See you next time.